Why do you think there's no God?
I refuse to believe that there is a God whom you guys claim, or he claims, or she claims, that he's a good God who loves us.
Yes.
And goes on to allow things that are a complete opposite of what he says love is.
Okay.
God says he's omnipresent, he's always there, he's all-seeing, he's omnipotent, he's very powerful, he can see things before they have to happen and all of these things.
Yeah.
If he claims that about himself, right, where is he when things that are not godly are happening in the world? All I'm saying, maybe we all need to accept that even if there is a God, he's not powerful. He's not omnipotent. He's not omnipresent. Let's just be honest.
All right. So, she is confused. Okay, she's not confused. She's quite certain of what she's saying, that there's no way there will be a God that we claim that loves us so much, and yet is allowing all these bad things to happen. And he sees the beginning from the end. And yet he still allowed the thing to happen when you have seen it from the beginning. So according to her, if there's a God, he's not as powerful as we claim he is. We don't need to go to insults. Let's be logical here. She's not the only person who has these questions. There are a lot of us who have these questions. Even inside Christianity, many of us are going to church today, or tomorrow, or next tomorrow. We know if there's something we really answer, we don't really believe, say the God, when they preach for us, there exists that type, we don't really believe that. Right? Not everybody, many of us. But you see, in order to answer this question, we need to understand the difference between us and our universe. We know if you understand the difference between us and God, that gap too wide. So let's try to explain what we understand already, the difference between us and our universe. One day I was talking to one guy. The guy said there's no way that the Bible will tell us that Joseph not knock Mary called Gebele. It is not possible. We try to use our logic to explain God, but our logic does not exist compared to who God is. So let's even leave God out of the equation. Let's assume that this girl or this lady is asking the earth that question. Leave God. We are not qualified. Just leave God. Let's assume that she's asking the earth that question. You will need to understand how old man is and how old the earth is for us to now understand if the earth decides to answer us, whether we go understand that, whether we get brain rich to understand, supposing we are asking the earth. How old is the earth? The earth is 4,543,000,000 years old. 4,543,000,000 years old. How old is man inside the earth from Adam till today? Scientific facts prove that man has only existed for about 300,000 years. So carry an account that has 4,543,000,000 naira. They carry another one that has 300,000. They come out that 300,000 for that 4.5 billion. You know, go show. Like, you know, go show. Who get 4.5 billion? If they thief 300,000 for your account, you know, go notice them. You know, go know. Now I'm coming. Let's compress the earth to the age of 100 years old man. Then let's compare it to how long man has existed, so that we now know how old we are. Supposing the earth is 100 years old man, let's know how old we are. If you divide, it's simple math, right? You have my calculator. It's simple math. We first of all understand how many days 100 years old man has lived. Then we'll not divide the age of the earth by that day, so that we'll know how many years of the earth will be the equivalent to 1 day in the life of 100 years old man. So 366 days in 1 year, times 100 years. 100 years old man would have lived 36,600 days. Follow me. Just follow me. I want to explain something. 4,543,000,000 years old divided by 36,600. For you to achieve a day in the life of the earth, supposing the earth is 100 years old man, would have need to live 124,000 years, 125. 124,125 years. Now we will need to live for us to achieve one day in the life of the earth, supposing the earth is 100 years old man. Man has only lived 300,000 years. Not we, the woman has only lived 300,000 years. So if you calculate it, man existing in the earth, supposing the earth is 100 years old man, we are just about 2 days and a few months. We never ever reach 2.5. So yeah, is supposing that the old man can't exist, and they ask Earth this question. Supposing not just this lady, here is a 2 days old child asking his great grandfather of 100 years, why did you let the nurse shook me injection in the hospital and allow me suffer? If that 100 years old man explained to the 2 days old child, will he understand that he was born with jaundice and they need to take his sample to do tests to treat him? Will a 2 days old child understand? That's the level of disrespect. Supposing that all the old men creation, now they ask Earth this question. Not to talk about one small lady asking God, and they come follow me. Even at 10 years, I could not understand why my mother was paying school fee for me to go to a school that they will flog me. Then when I called do small thing, when I reached out, still beats me again. As far as I was concerned, my mother was a winch. It took me to my 20s for me to even understand why my mom was disciplining me. Here's a 2 days old child trying to understand why a 100 years old great grandpa is taking actions that is paining him in the hospital. We are just 2 days compared to the earth. Now let me tell you how tiny the earth is, because now they say this earth big. Because now they find visa, go America, go London, and they say the earth big. How many of you know that the sun is a star? Yeah, the sun is a star. It's just the closest star to us. That's why it's shining like fire. The other stars are so far. Nothing existing on earth have reached there before. The closest we can see, the closest star we can see is the sun. The sun will take 1.3 million of our earth. If you carry our earth 1.3 million, you go enter the sun. That one sun. Amongst the stars, the sun is one of the smallest. It is said that the sun is like a mouse, small rat, compared to other stars. And yet, that small mouse will take 1.3 million of our earth. Now, let's proceed. We have a star called Stevenson. Stevenson will take 8 million of the sun. So if you decide to put the earth into Stevenson, we're talking about 8 million times 1.3 million of the earth. We enter one star. We never reach God, though. We stay this star. May you know the thing where they ask God questions. So 1.3 million of the earth times 8 million, we enter one star. In the Milky Way galaxy alone, the number of stars there are more than the sand of this earth. If you count the sand of the earth, the stars where the Milky Way galaxy alone pass on. Meanwhile, one, which is the sun, is taking 1.3 million of our earth. Can you imagine how we look in the Milky Way galaxy? They're not going to see us. You will need a very advanced microscope for one of those stars to see us. They don't even know we exist. Those stars are seen there. We be like amoeba inside their skin. They don't know say we they exist. Those stars you are seeing there, that's how tiny we are. To some of them, they need microscope to look at us. And if the stars in the Milky Way galaxy are more than the suns of the earth, how many galaxies do we have? Answer: billions upon billions upon billions of galaxies are in our observable universe. Meanwhile, there is something called the multiverse. Billions of universe. So you go break down the multiverse before you call reach our universe. Then you call break down our universe before you call reach galaxies. Then you can't break down galaxies before you can't see the stars. Then you can't break down the stars before you can't see the planets. Before you can't see our earth. Before you can't see man. Now we be the last born among all the creation. Hope you know. Fishes were here before us. Rats were here before us. Snakes were here before us. We are the last born. And one of the last born is questioning God. If God explains to you, can you understand? Do you know that if you move by the speed of light, for eternity, you will not reach the end of our universe. For eternity. Because the universe is expanding at a speed greater than the speed of light. If you move by the speed of light, for eternity, you will not reach the edge of our universe. We never talk about the multiverse. You can never reach God. So when we ask these questions, understand that if the tiny earth explain to you why you are going through what you are going through, you don't have the mental capacity to even understand it. You are a 2 days old child compared to a 100 years old man if you are questioning the earth. Not you, the whole of man put together is like a 2 days old child. Can we just come and leave our goddamn 90, 100 years and leave? This earth now hotel we lodge, we'll soon check out. The problem is that we don't know where we check out go. Now I mean some people fear to come out. How you tell us where you come out, not be your house they go. But because we don't know what is in front of us and we don't know where we are coming from, we tend to not want to live where we are now. But if you understand the power of creation, you will believe that everything God is doing is for your good. I call it the dangerous level of faith. You know that no matter what is happening, Baba is in charge. And when you understand the power of this creation, not be fellow man or money or motor or sickness you go to fear. Many years ago, my mother called me and said she was walking on the road. One person tell her and say, one sickness they come. Go and do this, go and do this, go and do this. Now my man called me and said, Ajiri, see what they tell me. What do you think I should do now? I tell her and say, Mama, the God that created us will leave us to stay on earth as long as he wants. If he thinks we should leave, it is time to leave. Not be we go try effort to stay. You know where you are going to leave it. If the sickness wants to come, let it come. If it wants to take you, then God has allowed it. Guess what? A few months later, my mother tested positive to breast cancer. She said, don't come, we don't come. I said, make it come. If you want to go, you go. If God says you stay, you stay. Then we start a treatment. Not be we go use our hand, go drag juju come. Then your children shouldn't call the pay. And my mom is well today. She survived it. Once you understand the power of the one who had created everything, that had set everything perfectly in place, you will not fear anything. See, the sun is so perfectly put together that if it moves somewhere away from the earth, it will freeze. If it comes a little bit close, it will burn. And you are saying that the God that set that up is not powerful enough. It is so disrespectful. Disrespect is not a word. There's no word that exists that can explain the level of insult that is where we challenge God. We're trying to use this our small thing in our brain to understand the power of the one who has set everything in motion. Not triumph. Just live your life. Live your life. Be a good person. Love your God. Love your family. Defend your country. Protect your children. Create your business, drive cars if God give you, fly planes if God give you, walk if God give you, and by the end of the day, leave the earth. You never even know where they go.